Hello, everybody. This is from End Time's headlines. Putin and Biden are playing a very dangerous game of chicken. So what happens if neither one backs down? I don't know how much you guys have been following this, but the United States and Russia are on a collision course. Unfortunately, the guys running the show in both countries are not exactly sane. They deeply, deeply distrust one another. So what happens when a bunch of lunatics decide to play a game of chicken with the fate of the entire world at stake? Now, this is an opinion piece, of course. Unfortunately, it appears that we are about to find out. When Donald Trump was still in the White House, both the United States and Russia pretty much respected the status quo. But once Joe Biden took power, things changed dramatically. Over the past year, the Biden administration has provoked the Russians over and over again, and it became clear that there would be a major effort to add Ukraine to NATO. The Biden administration assumes that they could push the Russians around without any consequences. But instead, the Russians sent more than 100,000 troops to the border with Ukraine. It is the largest Russian military mobilization since World War II, and it is clearly meant as a threat. The Russians are most definitely threatening to invade Ukraine, and they are assuming that this will motivate the Biden administration and other Western leaders to negotiate. But Biden and other Western leaders are not blinking. They are absolutely determined not to give the Russians anything that they want, even if the requests are reasonable. What this means is that Biden and other Western leaders have decided to call Vladimir Putin's bluff. Okay, so what happens if Putin is not bluffing? On Monday, we witnessed a very angry exchange between the United States and Russia during a UN Security Council meeting. Russia accused the West on Monday of whipping up tensions over Ukraine and said that the United States had brought pure Nazis to power in Kyiv as the UN Security Council held a stormy and bellicose debate on Moscow's troop buildup near its southern neighbor, U.S. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield shot back that Russia's growing military force of more than 100,000 troops along Ukraine's borders was the largest mobilization in Europe decades, adding that there has been a spike in cyber attacks and Russian disinformation. Scary times, guys. And then on Tuesday, Putin publicly warned that Russian security concerns are being completely ignored. We are carefully analyzing the written response received from the United States and NATO, Putin said Tuesday during a press conference with Hungary Prime Minister Viktor Orban. But it is already clear that the fundamental Russian concerns ended up being ignored, he lamented. We did not see adequate consideration of our three key demands regarding the prevention of NATO expansion, the refusal to deploy strike facilities near Russia's borders, and the return of the bloc's military infrastructure in Europe to the state in 1997. The crisis could be over tomorrow if Biden and other Western leaders agreed not to put Western missiles in Ukraine and do not admit Ukraine as a member of NATO. Just like we didn't want Russian missiles in Cuba in the 1960s, the Russians don't want NATO missiles in Ukraine now. Unfortunately, Biden's foreign policy team has decided that it simply cannot give Russia anything that it wants, and so there will be no deal. And White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki just compared Putin to a fox on top of a henhouse. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki slammed Russia for trying to turn the rhetoric around and expressed the worried about a threat coming from Ukraine, especially if it were to join NATO. When the fox is screaming from the top of the henhouse that he's scared of the chickens, which is essentially what they're doing, that fear isn't recorded as a statement of fact, Psaki said during her daily briefing Tuesday. So, what are y'all thinking about this? What is going to become of this? I mean, we need to really be praying about all of this. It's really, to me, if Russia has as many troops as they've pulled in, and they haven't done them since the last war, then, what's going to happen? So we need to pray, because this stuff is getting scary. I guess God isn't surprised by any of it. He's not, out of control. He still is. But guys, I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Keep your eyes to the skies and don't forget to say your prayers. God bless you. I love you.